Welcome back to the Observatory of Human Connection, the place where we filter out the white noise of the gossip machine to locate the frequency of truth. You are watching whatever you need. For weeks now, the atmosphere surrounding two of our most cherished icons, Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu, has been suffocating. We have watched as a thick, toxic fog of speculation has rolled in, obscuring the reality of a bond that has long captivated millions. The digital landscape has been littered with corrosive inventions, designed with surgical precision to fracture the public perception of their romance. We woke up daily to fresh headlines screaming of jealousy, of insupportable career pressures, of a separation hovering just over the horizon, or, depending on which unreliable narrator you believed, one that had already taken place behind closed doors. The narrative was relentless and repetitive. Their colossal success had mutated into their biggest obstacle. Ambition had eclipsed tenderness, insurmountable walls had been built out of misunderstandings. The noise was loud enough to rattle even the most steadfast believers in their love story. It forced a collective anxiety. Could the external pressure finally be cracking their private foundation? Yet, in the midst of this manufactured storm, we forgot a fundamental rule of nature. When the roots are deep, the wind can roar itself hoarse without ever bringing the tree down. Just when the night seemed impenetrably thick, a light broke through. It did not come from a paparazzo's flash or a studio spotlight. It came from the most sacred of spaces, a family home. Today on Whatever You Need, we are analyzing the intervention that stopped the spinning world of gossip in its tracks. We are deconstructing the words of a father who stepped forward not with anger, but with a quiet, devastating truth that remapped the future of Barış and Elçin. But before we examine this pivotal moment, I have a question for you, the heart of this community. In the modern world of relationships, how much weight does the approval of a partner's family carry for you? Is it everything, or is it secondary to the couple itself? If you appreciate these deep, sophisticated dives into the real lives behind the fame, please ensure you are subscribed to Whatever You Need. And for those who wish to help us keep excavating these stories with the care they deserve, the join button awaits you below. Your membership is the bedrock of our channel. Now let us listen to the voice that changed everything. The hero of this chapter is a man who has never sought the oxygen of publicity. He does not wear designer suits to preen for the cameras, nor is he interested in reciting lines scripted by PR agents. Barış Arduç's father is a figure of quiet dignity, a patriarch in the traditional sense, who has long watched the circus surrounding his son from a respectful distance, ensuring his household remained a sanctuary from the frenzy. But there comes a moment when silence ceases to be dignified and becomes permissive. Tired of watching lies multiply like a virus, and exhausted by hearing his honorable family name thrown into the pit of baseless speculation, he chose to break his silence. When he stepped forward, he didn't come out swinging with litigious anger. He spoke with the calm, unshakable conviction of a man who knows precisely where the truth lives. In an exclusive exchange granted solely to bring this runaway train to a halt, his words rang out like a clear bell in the dead of night. I have heard so much nonsense on TV and online that I can't sit back any longer, he began, immediately grounding his intervention in a defense of truth rather than a mere defense of his son. And then, he delivered the sentence that will be quoted for years to come: "No one knows my son's heart like I do." Barış wouldn't abandon Elçin. She is the piece of his soul that completes him. We must pause and sit with the weight of that imagery. He did not refer to Elçin Sangu as his son's girlfriend, partner, or even fiancée. He used the language of metaphysics. To call someone the piece of the soul that completes another is to speak of an existential necessity, not a fleeting romance. In a culture deeply rooted in family values, where the elders hold significant moral authority, a father's statement like this transcends public relations. It is a benediction. It is a seal of approval declaring that this love story is not merely a chapter in Barış's life, it is the entire book. But the patriarch was not finished dismantling the rumors. He needed to address the whispered lies about friction between Elçin and the Arduç family. With palpable warmth in his tone, he spoke of her the way a father speaks of a child he has gladly welcomed home. "She isn't only my son's beloved," he explained with gentle firmness. "To us, she is already like a daughter." She is kind, honest, and she makes my son's heart rest easy. Those words cut cleanly through the cynical narratives pitting them against each other. To publicly bestow the title of daughter upon her carries profound cultural weight. It is the ultimate key to the inner sanctum, a gesture of radical acceptance that goes far beyond formality. It was a protective cloak wrapped around Elçin by the head of the family. This is incredibly powerful stuff. It's rare to see such a definitive, protective move from a parent in the public eye. It really changes the entire complexion of their story. Before we get to the intimate memory he shared, and the couple's emotional reaction to this intervention, I want to remind you to hit that like button if this story is resonating with you. It helps us fight the algorithm and bring the truth to more people. And don't forget, our joined members get exclusive access to our community tab, where we discuss these stories in even more detail. We'd love to see you there. Following these grand declarations, Barış's father grounded his testimony in reality with a piece of wisdom that only life experience provides. Whatever challenges they face are ordinary, like those any couple must handle while learning and growing. Their love is larger than any bump in the road. In an age obsessed with curated perfection, admitting that small conflicts exist while insisting the love is greater is the most sincere message possible. It rang true because it was real. Perhaps the moment that touched the deepest chord, however, was a private memory he chose to share, a quiet scene no paparazzi lens could have ever captured. He described watching Barış and Elçin just a few days prior in the family backyard. Picture the scene. The late afternoon light filtering through the leaves, a quiet breeze, and two people sitting side by side in the sanctuary of privacy. I saw their fingers intertwined, heard them whispering about what's next, he recounted, and one could almost hear the smile in his voice. There's a glow in their eyes that cannot be faked. They looked at each other in a way that told me nothing, and no one will come between them. That scene, a simple, unadorned walk through a garden of trust, felt like visual poetry. They weren't acting, there was no audience to impress. There were only two hearts, absolutely certain of the home they had found in one another. Once these powerful words reached the streets, the media cameras wasted no time seeking out Barış Arduç. They caught him stepping off a set, his shoulders carrying the fatigue of a long shoot. As reporters relayed his father's statement, witnesses say his entire demeanor shifted. The tension of weeks of defensive posturing fell away, replaced by an emotion rising like a tide. His eyes glimmered, and he laughed the way a son laughs when he recognizes the unwavering support behind him. My father has always been my compass, he told the microphones, his voice trembling just enough to betray the depth of his feeling. He knows me better than anyone. If he says I won't walk away from Elçin, it's because that's exactly who I am. She is my fate and my safe harbor. Don't feed on lies. We are in a good place, better than ever. Saying she is his harbor is no small thing for a man living in the stormy seas of fame. A harbor is where ships return for safety, for rest, for repairs. He told the world exactly where his peace lies. And what of Elçin Sangu, the woman whose grace under pressure has been remarkable? Moments later, she was found by reporters. She did not disguise her happiness at being publicly claimed by his family. Knowing that the family of the man you love embraces you freely is a distinct blessing. She answered with characteristic gentleness and immense gratitude. Feeling the support of Barış's family is a treasure to me, she said. His father is a man of wisdom, and I admire him deeply. His words gave me strength. The bond between us cannot be broken. Note that phrase, cannot be broken. It isn't casual, it is definitive. In it, you hear both romantic love and deep respect for the traditions that turn a couple into a dynasty. But this story didn't end with microphones on a street corner. Our most reliable sources confirm that following this rush of public emotion, the couple organized a small, intensely private dinner as a gesture of profound thanks to Barış's father. Imagine that scene, a table glowing with warm light, far from the flashbulbs. Dishes that taste like home, laughter leaping across the room, and hugs that say more than any speech ever could. The night, we are told, had the distinct energy of a victory celebration, the palpable relief you feel when truth finally wins the last round against cynicism. Those present whisper that at one point, Barış stood, glass in hand, and turned to his father. His voice was steady, his eyes bright with emotion. "Thank you for reminding the world what my heart knows," he said to the man who raised him. Some swear they saw a tear he didn't bother to hide. That dinner wasn't just a meal. It was a ritual, a promise renewed. It was a family choosing unity over noise. Barış and Elçin have shown, once again, that they are not merely actors adored for their on-screen spark. They are two real people choosing each other, day after day, with a family's strength at their back. Today's blessing from a father was exactly the balm the fans needed, and the shield the couple deserved. The tabloids that tried to wedge them apart will have to reconsider their favorite storyline. He will not leave her. She will not leave him. A man who knows his son's soul has spoken, and his certainty is now the chorus the rest of us will hum. This chapter has lifted their public image to a new place. They no longer look like just a beloved duo, they look like a household taking shape. Look toward the horizon with us. We expect sunlit scenes for the Arctic Sangu story. Thank you for witnessing this beautiful moment of truth with us here on Whatever You Need. If you believe in the power of family support to silence the noise, leave a heart emoji in the comments. And please consider clicking that join button to become a crucial part of our storytelling family. Until next time, may your own roots run deep enough to withstand the wind. Goodbye.